All right, I'm gonna break down what I had. I traded SPY today. I started off some puts, and then I started into calls then, and I kind of waited for the other names to set up. All right. If something else was obvious, I would have probably stopped what I was doing, but I zoned in. Lately, since I put in so much time towards the end of the middle year last year and into going into the new year, if I see a SPY setup, 9 times out of 10. Oh,
ABUS.
let me
ABUS.
get the notifications. That way doesn't mess up the video later. There we go. Okay. All right. So when I see large caps or SPY, if I'm trading options on them, the opportunity to kind of catch them out of the gates and be volatile is very limited without trading back and forth in the chop. So earlier, I wanted to show you
W.
guys this 390.80s level. I'm pretty sure this is the same level that Hingle was talking about. All right, and going into this, we kind of just um, pretty much opened, pulled back, and then had a light volume push up to that, followed by a stuff pullback. But the best thing about this is, guys, you guys remember everyone has this short bias, like that's a short SPY because it's just been on this huge downtrend on the daily and has green days followed by red days and so on. So trade the setup and watch what it's doing, guys. When things are in trend, remember daily pivot bounces, intraday strong pivot bounces are going to be really great to kind of trade off of and watch what that is. So wanted to just touch base on that SPY level right here. Wanted to see a reject on the tape, and if you see on the 1 minute right here, we did have that. But the only thing is that if you see the volume on this, it's not as heavy, and then it pulled back to right here on our daily pivot. Literally did a bounce almost to the T. Kind of missed it by a few cents, but flipped go long. And then one of the biggest thing that I was talking about on SPY was if it's SPY's in
Manu.
trend, right, you're going to see this thing respect the first 5 and 8 pullback. I
ABUS.
want to see that. Look for some levels, 391s, and so on. Okay, so that was the SPY. The reason why I took a SPY put, and the reason why I flipped bias and went long, because really I was waiting for this to continue out of the bullish run it was happening. Okay. Oh, I guess this maxed out, huh? Okay, we need to boost the server to
RDFN.
probably get more people in here. We'll worry
ABUS.
about that later. All right, going on. Okay, APGN. All right, APGN. Um, guys, again, this one too. This thing set up right here. We had this nice 5 minute VPA
W.
descending volume, and if you're watching the tape, every pullback right here, even on the one. Let's go back to the one. You know, every pullback right here is getting soaked. You kind of see right here on the one, right here on the one too. Lighter volume VPA, and then volume started to come in. All right, I had this 218 level on this. I was looking
ABUS.
for the 218 breakout, and I'll be honest with you too.
Snow.
I had
RBLX.
one sell into 232s, and the rest were pretty much 224s and a little bit over 220s. It was very volatile and it happened so quick, so it's not like you can almost catch this whole thing. But there was a bunch of soaks against two on the level
ZM.
two. But this thing was just met with equal amount of pressure back and forth, back and forth. So we did get our volume divergence break right here. And if you guys don't know, volume divergence break is a stair step down. Now we want to see the volume divergence break and start to curl back up. But unfortunately, on this breakout right here, it kind of got stuffed. Now, nice 173 hold right here. A test for new highs. So if you retraded this in
Between.
here, and I see that a lot of you guys did, great ads on this 170 hold. This 5 minute flag is kind of iffy. I know if you guys see this, we got this decreasing volume right here. But when this thing's set up right here, okay, what you're going to notice is that there's so much selling pressure, right? Every pop we had on the tape in level 2, it was met with just excessive selling pressure, okay? Remember, if you're looking at the daily, this thing consolidated under a dollar for so long. All right, this push up right here, when we were trading this, see right now this name is at $1.98 and we're up 125%. So when we were trading this and looking for this to break out, or and again trading it right here, we're probably up 150, 160%. I don't remember how the numbers exactly, but again, look at where we're trying to play these things now. This thing can set up power hour, has 71 mil on the day. All right. So did not play this here. I only played this once for this flag, and then I was focused on
W.
GMVD. All right, this hit scans. This is a light name, right? This is a different type of short play. All right, if you can see this right here, this thing halted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, unhalted, came down, rehalted multiple times up. If you look left though, it ran into these 840s. So this thing ran up. This thing is up 105% still. It's a lighter name if you're not familiar with these. Definitely get the screen time in. Want to see the tape start to get heavy, and if you can see all this sell pressure right here on the 5 now. And this was definitely not one of the normal ones, you know, the normal shorts that run into major levels, or those pre-market plays that we've seen that just gap up, open up, and they're already opened up 240, 270%, right? This was a different type of play. You know, I didn't play this as heavy, but the reads were there. Took some reshorts. I don't know if you guys saw. Let's see if this will show. Here we go. It should show. I don't know if it will show, but you guys see that on there? You should see that. But I shorted some right here, covered up because the tape was strong, and then reshorted against these 840s, this daily level right here. Okay, and covered up some right here. Actually did a mistake. I shorted this again right here instead of covering, and ruined my average. It's okay, it happens. So I was just gonna risk high day right here against this level right here, and this thing just faded
APLD.
all the way down. So nice short from 820s. I did have a 740 average because of this mistake. It is what it is. We still got this, and it actually broke down to 460s, but I covered most for pretty much $2 a share. That was
Snow.
fantastic. So when I talk about being well-rounded and seeing opportunity,
RBLX.
you're gonna see names or setups that, you know, I want you guys to make sure you guys are not going to be those people who are like,
APLD.
this market is trash. This sucks. Like, these setups are not working. But if you zoom out, there's so much other edge to trade. There's so many other names to trade. There's so many things to learn off of because there's so
OKTA.
much opportunity long and short, you know, and things like that. But, you know, I pretty much traded GMVD today, SPY, and our APGN. Okay, thing got heavy. Looks like it's staying heavy. Let's see. The biggest thing that I want you guys to take away is that when you guys are watching these set up, right, our 5-minute flags, our pivot plays, time and sales, and level 2, is it heavy? Does every pop have just steady selling pressure, right? Because if we get met with steady selling pressure, then eventually the bulls are going to give up and take profits, cause more dump. People are going to start jumping in short, right? Because this thing's heavy. They want to see more follow through to the downside, things like that. This 5-minute flag did not work. It just stood heavy, stood heavy. Bulls give up, lighter volume, and then we get this stuff right here, you know, things like that. So make sure you're zooming out, right? I know I talked about
RBLX.
this last time, but when we see names like SPR, I think it was SPRB, SPR, SP, oh, having a, okay, Jern. This is the one I can just think of right now. Just right now. So it's actually retracing. But a name like
W.
this, right, on the daily, we had plenty of names that just gap up. All right.
AVTR.
Make sure you are paying attention
AVTR.
to where they are setting up. Okay. If thing is already gapped up so much, it's up to
AVTR.
300%. Try to minimize the risk of going long because there's so much. There we go. Hot Rod. Thank you. SPRB. Beautiful one. Okay. Guys, look at this one right here too. If you just jumped off a Jern,
CSIQ.
GERN, appreciate that, Hot Rod. This thing gaps up so much. Now we're opening up. I think this was at like 220%, and this area right here, pre-market, the tape
AVTR.
started to actually get heavy. Okay, instead of it just being bulls are strong or bidders are strong, let's run it up, run it up. This thing started seeing some pressure. All right, this thing opens up and just fades. Okay, so it opens up. Look at it gapped up on the daily from 1.5. Now it's 1.6. This thing has a huge gap up. There's more potential to draw this thing back and fade it. And I'm pretty sure this is a bio name. Yeah, bioscience up here. You know, these names like to do this funny thing, right? Drop first study results are okay, and then, right? You probably read deeper into the news. I really don't care what the news says.
AVTR.
I
Snow.
just focus on the tape.
Uber.
But yeah, so that was pretty much it, guys. That was the recap today. Just SPY, GMVD. That was a nice one. Multiple points short. APGN. You
W.
know, we had $2 ads. Got 20, 30 cents out of this one. You know, and then if you replay this up here, and I think like, you know, Swift Trades, he's pretty got good average, and he saw this being heavy up here, so he took his profits, okay? Watch where things are holding. Watch for the tape to shift. But, you know, I don't want you guys to get too caught up on like this is a 5-minute setup. They're there, but I want you to focus on where the price action, supply and demand is on the chart. See where things are soaking, and go from there. But if you guys have any questions too,
AVTR.
I would love to answer any of you guys' questions that you guys have. You feel free to put on your mic and ask some questions.
Snow.
I don't know if it's working. Everyone's quiet.
Mikey.
Here we go. What's up, brother?
Hey,
Uber.
how are you, man?
Good.
I just have it's nothing to do with the trading, but on your chart, when you have those little triangles like that are green or red,
CI.
Oh,
are
okay.
those pivot points?
No. Okay. So this is Guardian.
Oh, that's
these
a
are
different
showing
platform.
yeah. This is a different platform. This is my short broker.
CRWD.
These triangles that you're seeing, these are my executions. This is me going short. This is me covering.
Okay.
This is me reshorting. This is me covering. And this is my one little mistake. We'll probably just keep that covered.
W.
That's cool. So it shows your trades.
Yeah, yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that for the short side of things. It's great. So yeah, that's for Guardian. The triangles are in and outs for executions too and stuff like that. Okay.
Snow.
Yeah, thanks for explaining.
You're welcome. Alan, I see you in chat, man. Did you nail some of that Tesla? There we go. We're starting to finally get your little breakout now. Hey,
what up? What up?
Guy that
What's
was
up, dude?
in chat yesterday that had
Uber.
a question.
How's your trading going, Alan?
QS.
Pretty good. Up about 1K today. Nothing serious.
FCEL.
Dude, let's go, man. 1K a day is amazing. That's $250,000 a year.
That's the goal.
Yeah, don't take that lightly. Good stuff, man. Consistency.
Yeah, the Tesla play was a good setup. It's just wrong time of the day. But if you look at it now, it's now pushing up pretty nicely, but just drew back a little too much.
Yeah, that's okay. Nice little double bottom too off 21, or 121.
OKTA.
Yeah, that's where I was in, and it stopped me out right there. Didn't get back in though.
Ah, that's okay. You locked in your green for the day. That's all that matters. You executed when you had to. You don't need to execute 5,000 times a day and either chop yourself up or get profits back or make a little bit more. But I think it's better. I think it's better to have that plan, lock in whatever it is, and then like either get better at sizing up a little more or just be super grateful for a nice day, nice green day.
Absolutely.
What else?
APLD.
DP, APGN. If you see this APGN 173s, 170s area, this is just a pretty much almost a area of consolidation right here. All right, so going back to that supply demand area, kind of
RBLX.
pivot right here after hours too. Let's see, 172, previous consolidation, reclaim. So you kind of want to see these areas, these zones kind of hold
APLD.
and stuff like that. All right. But if you guys got any other questions, I'd definitely want to try to be doing this kind of stuff every day with you guys. The try to help you
W.
guys. If you guys have charts or anything that, like, hey, I took this trade, we can go over it, things like that, to try to help out.
Hey, Mikey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up, dude? This is Danzig, man. Thanks, by the
CRWD.
way, thanks for all
Go.
your help, man. Your YouTube videos, everything, man. I've been with you since the beginning, and I
Thanks,
really
man.
appreciate
Appreciate it.
You.
Yeah, and I got I got the Underdog shirt on today, first time, and I'm up
Let's go.
11.6%.
Let's go.
Yeah,
DDOG.
so GMVD, so that crazy bastard. So number one, I'm not in the position to short him yet. I just don't feel comfortable with it. But that's a maniac, and I'm wondering, do you have like if you didn't go short and you wanted to approach that with a
Coil.
long, how would you? I mean, would you do that? I mean, it's too crazy for me, but I just feel like some of those insane, triple halts kind of deals. I'm not going to short it, but surely there's a long somewhere there, and it was just kind of too chaotic. I wonder if you had an opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, so when you look at this type of chart,
W.
especially on the 1 minute, like there is no
RBLX.
really ads on this, especially the whole way up.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ads. When I trade these type of names, it's got to be based off the tape. You want to see some holds, you want to see some stuffs, things like that. I know there's a few times where I covered on my chart where you can kind of see covers, like especially of unhold, you see some people covering, so maybe it's time to cover some too. Even when key levels break on these, they break, and then you kind of see people covering up too. I personally, I don't go long on these. Like if you say, hey, this thing held 450 and then it went to $6, that's great. If you were locked in and saw the tape, and hold on, let me turn down my scanner or put it on mute, and things like that. So I don't trade these long because I just haven't back tested these to try to trade them long. I don't see how you can get in, especially on this whole front side of the move, unless it was like our previous names that we traded last week where there were some levels and you can just see the bidders are strong. If you see bidders are strong and there's big bids holding it up, and then you see on the tape some prints going through, buyers are stepping up, and then the best thing about this Guardian thing right here is that I have these Holt codes up. LU is for the Holt code, the ask is for the Holt up, the Holt for the Holt down. So I can get a read off that to say, hey, this might hold up, this might hold down. GMVD did a fake Holt and then immediately stuffed into a Holt down. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, that's why. I mean, look, if I'm not comfortable with it,
then
then I'm
don't even
staying away.
stay away. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I've definitely traded a bunch of these this time now by just based off the tape and not really got into like, hey, does this need to hold a certain level? I'm kind of I'm there for the short on this because if you see this is, pretty much a $4 pullback. It's amazing.
Well, that shit on your daily though. I mean, the way it's like shit. Maybe I should short. It was so obvious in hindsight.
Exactly right. So this was the 849s, 840s was the level that I wanted to see not break out. I mean, trust me, I was sitting here like, whew, if this squeezes, there's pretty much room all the way up to. Here's another little spot too on the daily 840 again. This thing had room all the way up to like 9 and squeeze up to $12. That would have not been a great day for me. But that is where it's like, okay, instead of trying to take all these entries, and I tried it once right here, covered up on the GMVD. Where are we at? Right here, covered up, got out, and then re-hit it up top. Because I can see on the tape that it's just, one, the Hulk codes are coming up, and the bidders were stepping up, and there's just too much green printing through, too much people buying the ask on this one. And this is a relatively lighter name, so it trades a lot different. What happened? I think someone cut in and out, but yeah. Again, I was just waiting I wanted to really see what it was going to do against that high, and we had nice failed follow through for the breakout or the unhold right here. On this one, when it halted, it opened up and just stayed heavy, and they were dumping the bid rather than buying the ask, and it halted back down for us. I definitely advise you guys. Like I definitely see, Hingles trading SPY. I see Allen trading a couple large cap names at a time, and that's it. So if you zone in on one or two names per day, you'll get familiar with it on the large cap. If you have a small cap that's running and you want to learn from it, it's better to gain the experience than try to worry about getting rich. That way, the next time that opportunity comes, it's meeting this criteria, it's holding this, you see the tape, it's up this much, it has way much more room. Instead, it's up this much, and this could be a potential flush on the pullback for the bulls, right? So try to lock in per day. That's what I kind of mentioned over the weekend was if you see a couple names, zone in, understand the tape, learn the tape from it ripping all the way up, and then learn the tape from it ripping all the way down. Okay. Same thing with APGN. Since this is kind of our small cap runner right here, this thing runs all the way up, comes all the way back down, does a high day stuff, consolidates. So it's better to read this tape and really understand the level 2 behind it. That way you get better at it on the next name or the next day. Maybe it's a day 2, and this was like these 230s are a significant level that you remembered from yesterday from the tape. If we get above them, is it support? Things like that. So, you know, don't get caught up in a couple bad trades or anything that's gonna stop you from continuing to learn, because like this is my 4th year and day trading is definitely getting a little bit easier. It's definitely not easy, right? But you kind of know when you're like, this is the time to push in. All right, maybe this is the time to I'll dabble at this, but maybe I'm not gonna go put on a lot of risk because I want to protect my capital from last week or the last year or the month before. You know, definitely learned a lot too from having this kind of bear pull and becoming a short now and things like that. So, taking in strides every day. And if you miss the opportunity, don't get FOMO and chase and then get chopped up, be red, and you're like, what am I doing? Too. So, but yeah, guys, if you guys don't have any other questions though, I'm gonna hop off and probably enjoy the rest of the day.
I think that JP guy had a question yesterday.
JP,
Yeah,
JP3.
remember?
Oh, I don't. Oh,
He's
oh,
asking
yes,
about
yes, yes, yes.
pre-market.
Let's go. Okay, so, pre-market.
I don't know if he's in here listening though.
He is. I see him. Dang. Okay, well, okay, I will make sure tomorrow, JP, I will show you that pre-market, what it looks like, and stuff like that. Okay. Or actually, I might be able to show you. Let me see if I can get this. Okay, so pre-market, for using that, you're going to want to switch this. So this is trading pre-market, and you can only really get out on the ask or the bid. So if you go to your trade tab right here and click GCT and then put that back, if you hold control, I really don't want to do it on this name. Okay, if you hold control and you have your sell order, say the ask is right here, the bid's right here. If you hold it underneath and you see these bids starting to get sold into, if you click on the ladder, it's going to fill you at the best available bid. All right, and I'm just kind of showing a quick example here. I'll show you tomorrow on how that goes and how that works with trading with one share, and then I'll show you on the activities and positions how it actually fills and what it looks like. So that way you don't get slippage, because if you try to sell and you get a partial fill and then it keeps dumping, you're just getting washed out on, and that sucks, because I've definitely been there, and then I'm like, oh, I'm never trading pre-market again with size. And that's kind of like where I've been at for a while too. So if you just hold control underneath, it'll fill you in the best available bids to get out without getting dumped on. But all right. But all right, guys. If you guys don't have any other questions, that was the recap for today. Just stuck to a few names. Everything was planned. Everything was executed. I had a risk, and I traded off to level 2 in these things. And it's great to see you guys doing the same thing and knowing when things are heavy. That way you can cut. Even if you're up 2 pennies, it is what it is. but or even and cut for a small loss. But all right, guys.